This is Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. This is Genesis 2 and 18 in the NLT. Then Yahweh said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper who is just right for him. Shalom, shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name of His only begotten Son, who the world eagerly calls God, in Jesus Christ. We give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders of Great Millstone, and touch the truth and will well, and salutation, hopefully that puts the truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh Sop. Comes you know, listen to the spirit power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and the lessons to the spirit, going into building up women to prepare themselves for men of the Lord. The scriptures talk about the prophecy that brother's been bringing out heavy of Isaiah 4 and 1. So wanted to do a lesson basically of mentally preparing yourself for a man like that. Okay, so to understand that, for one thing, you have to understand our pain and what we've been going through. Okay, and then you can also receive instruction. I'm going to share a couple of clips from women, telling you things that you need to do mentally to prepare, and we can bring out some precepts as well. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, so this first video is going to play the mentality of where a lot of men, currently are mentally behind the damage, the emotional damage that modern day Western and American women have done to men today. Okay, so you just see the focus that we currently have to be on, just so you know what you're coming into as far as how to approach and the frustration he may have. All right.
Best years on a woman who... Too many men waste their best years on a woman who never gave a damn about them. A lot of men are going to hear that and immediately feel it in their chest. Because some men, they really did spend years sacrificing themselves trying to hold a relationship together that was draining the absolute life out of them. Walking on eggshells, begging for peace, trying harder, giving more, ignoring red flags for disrespect because they love their family. And the longer it goes on, the more you lose yourself. You stop doing things that you enjoy. You stop laughing the same. Stop feeling confident. Stop feeling like you. Your entire life becomes managing somebody else's emotions and chaos. And a lot of men stay because they're scared. Scared of losing their kids. Scared of starting over. Scared of being alone. Scared of failing. So they tolerate things they never should have tolerated to begin with. Not because they're weak, because they're trying to save their family. But eventually, something clicks. You realize you can spend your entire life trying to earn love from somebody who only values you when you're useful to them. That realization destroys a lot of men mentally, because now you're sitting there replaying years of your life and you're wondering, was any of that even real? But let me tell you something important. I want you to hear this. Your years were not wasted if you learned from them. A man who goes through pain and becomes bitter, he loses twice. But a man who goes through pain and rebuilds himself stronger, calmer, wiser, and more disciplined, that man becomes dangerous in the best fucking way possible. And I think a lot of men need to hear this. Stop grieving the years that you lost and start focusing on the years that you still have left. Because your best years are not behind you just because somebody failed to appreciate you. Sometimes your best years begin the moment that you finally stop abandoning yourself, trying to keep somebody else happy. Follow me.
All right, so
Building something great.
So this right here shows you what you're walking into, because when you come across a man of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he's already been through the mud and the dirt like this. And this man has a lot of damage, a lot of hurt, and they've evolved and gone stronger for that. So he has zero tolerance for bullshit. So if you're going to come to him like a broken record, count yourself out. Coming to the same playbook as all these other women are coming with, that you can win us off your looks, and that we're just going to go ignore the fact that you got kids by other men, and we're not going to question you about your reasons why you're single. You're a certain age, you know, and why aren't you with the man that you last was laying down with, you know? We're not going to tolerate any bullshit, so you can't come with subtlety to think you're going to deceive us and, you know, to being with you in any kind of way. There's no games that you can win over us on us, man. Okay? Because once a man focuses and he's been through a lot, the same hurt that you possibly might be able to do to him, he's already felt it 1,000 times. So we're going to see right through your bullshit. So you got to come correct. Okay? And you have to come with understanding that, hey, look, you need to do better and not put him through any type of situation that these other women are currently doing. You know, horrible, you know, some of them to list is that, for one thing, unloyal women is what we deal with. Women that leave you because they want to go and put their hand back in the cookie jar and gather more instead of just being satisfied, happy with what they got. And they look for excuses to leave for any reason. You know, women are given authority to divorce their men. The fact that women, put men on child support, or threaten to do it. When women weaponize the kids, when they get mad and they want revenge, they want to hurt them, so they make it where he can't see his child. All those different things. Hey, if you intend on throwing it our way, just go somewhere else, man. If that's what you have in your playbook, you're not going to get a righteous man like that. So if you live like that, if you've done these things, then you're not fit for a good man or a husband. Speaking to you women. Okay, so you gotta come correct, and there's gonna be videos that we're gonna play that's gonna call out certain behaviors, man. But before I do that, I want to grab a quick precept. This is Proverbs 21:9. It says, "It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house." So if you're a brawling woman, it's better us to live, straight up on top of our roof in the elements, getting rained and snowed on, than to be in a house with you. So men, if you have a brawling woman, just know you're in better shape to live like that than to live with her. So do away with it. So if you're coming and you're a combative woman, you've been called combative, you're disrespectful, you feel that you've said things like you need to put someone else in their place, you're going to put him in his place, that's a combative type energy, and you're that way, then stay away. You need to go and finish your training. A lot of y'all women are going to be put in training mode right now, for men of the Lord. So you're getting some gems, through the Spirit, through the scriptures. Okay, because that prophecy will come to pass, and you got sincere women that, are true believers in Yahweh Shem Shai, but they're not prepared for a man of Yahweh Shem Shai yet, because you got some leaven you need to purge out. And disrespect and combative energy and argumentative, that's not it. You have to learn how to submit yourself to a man.
Somebody got to say it. And I'd be the bitch to say it. You booty head ass bitches really be out here thinking that sex is the only thing that matters to a man. Sorry to break it to you fucking morons, it's not. You can get that shit from anywhere. But you know what do matter, bitch? The way you talk to him. Yeah, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Tone matters. Respect matters. Timing matters. The way you respond when you're mad matters. Because that man is watching, like, is this somebody that I could build with or somebody I gotta brace myself against? The way you show up in chaos matters. Are you fucking providing peace or are you another fucking problem with a fucking voice?
You need to be a peace to your husband, man. Because that's facts. They really do go through our mind. Is this somebody I'm going to have to brace myself for? Or is this somebody that's going to help me, brace the rest of the world and give me peace in the midst of it? And a lot of y'all women will straight up think this shit is cute, telling us you're our enemies and shit, And that's just what it is. That's that prophecy being fulfilled. This is Ecclesiasticus 36:24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. And you heard that we run that back in Genesis. It's not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper that's right for him. So rest and help are the first thoughts in the process of mind of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when he said he wanted to create a woman. So what does that mean that your destiny is to be like? A help and a rest. Okay? Man is made in the Lord's image to be the glory of him. You're made to enhance that man, not to be against him. And the man was created first, then you. You weren't created first, then man. So you're created for us. We are not created for you. You are created for us. You're to be the helper to us. So a lot of you guys come in a situation when you're meeting men is what can this man do for your life? What bill can he pay? Help you pay? What stepdaddy, what child he can be for? What can he do this? What can he do that? What can he do this? What can he make you? Can you make you look good on social media, Instagram? Is he gonna make you popular? Is he gonna make you rich? Is he gonna do this? Whatever he can do for me. You have a zero thought process and mentality on how to be an enhancer and help to his life. But that is what you were created for, to be a helper, okay, and a rest unto men, not to be a stress, okay?
Kicking his ass. Are you at combat with him or are you on the opposing team? Because that fucking matters. The way you acknowledge him matters. Like, do you notice when he's trying, when he's stressed, when he's fucking exhausted, but he's still showing up? Are you acknowledging that? Or are you only beating this man down when he's doing something fucking wrong? Like, he
had $1 million app idea for
his ego matters. He wants to feel like the man. The way you speak life into him matters. His ego matters. He wants to feel like the man to the woman that he's choosing. And you ain't got to bow or submit to no bullshit. But what you do got to understand is a man will run through walls for a woman that makes him feel capable and seen and loved and safe. The way you correct him matters. Are you embarrassing him? Are you talking to him crazy in front of people? Are you correcting them in public? Like, are you yelling at them loud? Are you defensive? Like, shit, the way that you move when you mad matters. Like, are you withholding shit? You withholding affection, love? Now you don't want to do shit for him? Now you not speaking to him? Like, do you know how to pause and communicate and fucking regulate without actually trying to win? Because one thing about men, they not gonna stay in nowhere they feel attacked. Nowhere they feel fucking attacked. Like, they're only gonna stay somewhere that they feel value. And honestly, sex don't bring fucking love. And it don't build fucking loyalty. You know what does? Consistency does. Peace does. Respect does. The way you show up for that man does. The way you show up in the midst of chaos and confusion and everything else that's involved in that shit. That's what the fuck he's paying attention to. That's what matters to a man. I mean, you can touch his body, but if you can't captivate his mind, you probably gonna lose him.
And that's facts, man. That's facts. We value what really gives us, truly feeling of wanting to love a woman is if we feel honored, we feel respected. We feel that you look up to us, you trust us, you trust our leadership. The minute you start questioning and challenging because you want to create a game and you want to win, we out. We out. We don't compete with women. We compete with other men. Women, you're not a creature that you're created to be in competition to. You're the weaker vessel. You're beneath us. You're supposed to be subservient unto us. So you'll never be looked in our eyes as on our level. And it's just vexing that Babylon has put you in a positions where, publicly or economically or whatever, politically, you're allowed to have roles and be above us. You're allowed to say whatever you want to us and talk to us down on us, but that is not the creature, the purpose, the creation the Lord had in mind when he was created you to be like that. Y'all are all going off, man. And the Lord is bringing back that energy because he's raising up spirits. Some women that are, as you clearly can see, are getting it. And these women are putting out content to train up the men and Slakia to train up the women for the men of the Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. So let's hear what this next sister has to say.
Your opinion. Stop acting like just because that man loves you, he won't leave you. Because he absolutely will. He's only going to take disrespect for so long. He's only going to take lack of accountability for so long, lack of consideration for so long. He's only going to take feeling like a burden on you and that you're always dismissing him and his feelings for so long. Even the most loyal man will get fed up. And when he gets fed up, ain't shit you can do about it. And guess what? He will leave. Unpopular opinion.
And a lot of women have developed this stuff like this, and it's turned into a habit to where you start doing stuff like this subconsciously, and that's when it's dangerous. A lot of y'all have a lot of self-work to do. You're too busy to be putting mentally on a pedestal that nothing's wrong with you because you have so many men that constantly want to have sex with you. So in your mind, that fucks your brain up to thinking that everything you're doing is right. No, a man wanting to have sex with you have nothing to do with a man wanting to be with you as far as you being a wife status. They're just going to have a natural urge to have concubines and to have multiple women. So some of y'all is just looked at as that possession for pleasure. They're not looking at you just for what you think they're looking at you are, somebody that they choosing to be their wife. No. It's not just because a man wants to have sex with you doesn't mean that's what he wants. Okay? So you have to dump that mentality, man. You have to work on yourselves. A lot of y'all need to do better, and you have not been doing right for your whole lives. You've been living wrong biblically. Even these women on the screen speaking, the first woman, she got the cum lashers on. And, I had a woman like that about a year ago or something like that. And she, her spirit is identical to the woman I had. Like, she knew everything a woman was supposed to be doing. She would say it, and she did the right things at the moment. But at the end of the day, she couldn't let go of the whole shit. She couldn't let go of the carousel, And her mentality drifted back to the way of using men, even though she knew better, and she would actually knew enough to make content like this. But see, that's the activation of the curses. You can't escape that, man. Eve is just not on our side. She's in the same playing field as Esau, Edom, as far as enemy-wise. Those two are together, and they love each other. And they hate the Israelite man. But the Lord is beginning to punish Eve, because at the end of the day, even though Eve is acting like that, she's still an Israelite woman. And you're supposed to be royalty of Yahweh Shem Al Shai. So the punishment is coming to Eve to humble her down and to break her and bring her back to the Israelite man. And that time period is going to begin to happen in the time of Isaiah 4 and 1. So you see the buildup of this taking place. Okay?
Stop acting like just because that man loves you, he won't leave you.
Right. Just because a man chooses to put you in a position and says, you my woman, you my girl, or he might tell you, hey, you my wife, does not mean you have now the green light to do anything and everything you want and he must stay with you. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You can still be left. Just like the Yahweh Shai says, he can raise up stones for men to preach his word. If we go off, as far as the prophets go, he can just make a little rock. He can raise it up to be a prophet. He don't need us. And y'all the same way. We don't need you guys. We can procreate with the other nations that are going to already be in the order that don't have the curses on them. You see? So you need to earn your spot.
Unpopular opinion. Some women sabotage the man that they prayed for. So you prayed for a loyal man, you prayed for a provider, you prayed for a leader. But when he shows up, you now want to test him, disrespect him, and doubt him. You become part of his trials and tribulations. You become part of the problem. You now become a headache and not a helpmate. But you got the man that you prayed for, and now you're confused as to where all the good men is. Unpopular opinion.
So you want good men, you have to recognize what the problem is. And the problem is with Eve. And a lot of them don't want to hear that. Well, you have a problem too. It's y'all too. No, man. Stay on topic, on course. When it comes to this marriage and what's going on, it's Eve that's been weaponized against us. You've been psychologically weaponized. You didn't know it. When you read stuff like the Willie Lynch letters and things like that, you understand the planned psychology of you of subconsciously making your minds to come against the Israelite men. So it's being put in your face, what y'all are doing that caused that problem to be. Okay? This is the book of Proverbs 31 and 23. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. Okay, so her husband is known well in the gates. Why? Because the scriptures go on into a list of things that are also help him get noticed. And it starts listing, the fine linen, you selleth it. Okay, so you should be able to make things. This is fabric she's making. It says, and deliver girdles. Girdles is another way of saying for pants. Okay, so she's an entrepreneur as far as what she can make with her hands from the household. Strength and honor are her clothing. So strength and honor, being strong in the mind, okay, and honoring her husband. Not disrespect, not shame. A lot of y'all women, you get mad and you think the best thing to do when you're mad is do some revenge on something instead of just accepting the feeling of being mad without having to do a physical revenge reaction. Y'all get obsessed with that. So that's weakness. So you have no strength, and then you begin to dishonor your husband and your whole house. It says, strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. So that means you don't say stupid shit and dumb shit. Like, I can have another you in a minute. Nigga, you ain't shit. Or I don't need you. Disrespect, calling them in all sorts of different names. That's not a mouth of wisdom. It says, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. That's not kindness of your words. Trying to put someone in their place and being evil to them and name calling, that's wickedness, man. And a lot of black women are like that. That's that real heavy combative energy. And a lot of that comes too is because of the consistent acts of adultery. Because anytime you commit adultery on your man, the man you committed adultery on, you become extremely cruel towards, because your body is now conforming to the next man you're currently having sex with. So his spirit is going to clash with the next man's spirit. So you start being evil towards him. And a lot of y'all secretly cheated on us. And that's why you do such horrific shit. Which is why the punishment of that cheating shit is death. You and the man you cheat on your husband with are supposed to be unalived. That's in the law. To cut that off. But because you're allowed to continue, the trauma spreads. The sin spreads, But at some point in these last days in time, even though we do things like this because we're ignorant, once you've woken up to the truth, you're supposed to walk away from that life and repent and never do it again. But some of y'all fall out the truth. You leave your husbands in the truth and you go right back to the world doing all this. You're finished. So you don't want to be that woman. The goal is to get a man of the Lord so you can get delivered. It's Ecclesiastes 26 and 24. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. When you look up that word reverence, it says regard or treat with deep respect. You see how many times respect has been spoken about and brought up in this lesson. And with scriptures, it's everything. For you women, that's number one. Submission, subjection, and respect, reverence. Respect your husband. And we're going to show some more, a couple clip videos on examples of women telling you how to respect your husband.
A man doesn't care if you love him. He cares if you respect him. You think love is what keeps a man. That's the problem. Love is emotional. Respect is behavioral. It's how you speak to him. It's how you respond when you're upset. Women need love. Men need respect. And when that man doesn't feel respected, he will disconnect. And it's not because you don't love him. It's because he don't feel it in your actions, and that's why it's not working for you. Respect requires control. It requires discipline, and it requires you to check yourself. So if you want that man, watch your tone, watch how you speak, and stop reacting off emotions. Because your looks is gonna attract the man, but respect is what's gonna keep him. I'm just saying. Submission isn't for weak women. Weak women can't submit because they think submission is weakness. The irony is, you think submission is only something you're being asked to do. Meanwhile, your husband, partner submits to you every single day in so many ways. You control access to intimacy, not him. You decide when it happens and when it doesn't. You decide on the decor of the home, what the family eats, the routine, the values, the standard of the entire home. He's living in a world that you designed. That's submission. You want Mexican food, but he wants a steak. Guess what he's eating? Yeah, exactly. You want to spend time with your family for the holiday? He wants to stay home. Guess where he's going? Exactly. Men submit to women all day long. The only difference is nobody calls it submission when they're doing it. That's why so many women misinterpret submission, because you notice every compromise you're making, but you rarely notice the compromises being made for you. And that's why when your husband or your partner asks you to submit to their leadership, it should be an easy yes.
And that's facts. You know, she's speaking the truth. You know, men aren't supposed to bow down to their women, but there's a way of a righteous form of, you know, loving his woman in submission. That's her high level of submission. Like, if a woman, you know, is just ultra kind of something she wants to do, you know, there's no arguing. It's hard to argue with a woman like that, man. When she's doing so much nice for you, man, and she's not respecting you. I mean, she's not disrespecting you. You know, even as angry as I could be, if I got a woman that's checking, you know, she's bringing me a fresh plate. She's like, it's okay. I love you. I apologize. And like, damn, man, she's respectful as hell. It's gonna change my whole tone. And my anger is gonna dissipate. You know. And men just naturally want to do more for their women when they're treated in a certain way. So everything just falls in place automatically. It starts with you being in order and what Yahweh Shem Yahshua commanded you to do. Be in servitude, submission, and subjection unto your men. This is Ephesians 5:22 says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Okay? So just as much as you submit to the Lord who you pray to, you have to submit that same energy level to your husbands. And that's very difficult for modern American women to do because they've been brainwashed their whole lives that that's wrong, that that's weak, to look down upon if you looking at your husband as Lord. You know, I had women in the scripture such as Sarah refer to her husband as Lord, Lord. Y'all got to change your whole mentality. You got to be baptized, man. It says, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as a Mashiach is the head of the church. So just as who you call Yahweh, you know, Jesus Christ, his real name is Yahushai, just as he's in charge of all the church on the whole earth, so is the husband is given a comparison over you being your head. It says, and he is a savior of the body. So that means we're the savior of your body. You get delivered from being with a man of the Lord. Not off of your own works in Jesus Christ. It's to being in subjection unto the man of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. It says, therefore, as a church is subject unto a Mashiach, so that the wives be to their own husbands in everything. So you're supposed to be in subjection in everything. Not what you want here and there a little. I'll submit to this, but I won't submit to that. No, it doesn't work like that. You got to be all in. Okay?
And that's why when your husband or your partner asks you to submit to their leadership, it should be an easy yes. A woman who understands her position doesn't fight submission because she knows her value and she understands her influence. So submission stops feeling like a threat the moment you realize You've been on the receiving end this entire time. Submission isn't for weak women. Weak women can't submit because they think submission is weakness.
Submission is your biggest strength. If you really want to influence your husband to do something, and you combine it with that level of submission, like I kid you not, 9 out of 10 times the men gonna fold. That's power, and y'all are so obsessed with wanting power, and you have an evil the desire for control. That's wrong spirit to have as a woman, because you're supposed to let the man control. But if you want some type of influence, because you guys all have things that you want out of life, which is normal, then you gotta learn how to get it the correct way. It's in the power of your submission and your respect. Okay? Next topic I want to cover is your jealousy. All right? A lot of women don't want to accept this, but men are supposed to have more than one of you, more than one wife. You're supposed to have help with him and your children and her children. And you're supposed to have a village, and you're supposed to be able to thrive. Okay? So I want to play this quick clip real fast, kind of go into this topic briefly. It says, I gave you your wives, and if that had been too little, I also would have given you much more. This is 2 Samuel 2:8. Scriptures. Polygyny is in our culture, our heritage. Our forefathers practiced this, and it was never sin. You won't find any scriptures where Yahweh condemned that type of cultural aspect. In fact, he commanded us to do so. Okay? This is the book of Isaiah 4:1 in the NLT. It says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. Okay? So let us all marry you. 7-1. This is a future prophecy of the end days, man. And this is a righteous thing. Okay? In verse 2, it says, but in that day, the branch of Yahweh will be beautiful and glorious. So this is a good thing. This isn't a punishment mentality in a time of punishment. This is righteous. This is the order it's supposed to be in. And you look up a lot of Eastern cultures, man, they practice this. There's still places in Africa that still do this to this day. And they would look at you crazy if a man just with one woman. And you have the wives, the African women over there, they get offended. They're like, hey, look, if you're going to marry me, you have to marry me, my sister, and my friend so-and-so. She says, I need to be married to you with help. There's a lot of help. Your women need help too. You look at men, and you get mad at us in Babylon, in America, of all these things you need help with around the house you expect us to do. And when it's not supposed to be us doing it, you're supposed to be your sister wife. Okay? Or our concubines, which are your servants, to help you. You should have help with the kids. You should be able to take a week off with your husband to Bora Bora or in the mountains somewhere. And then it's another wife's turn to be able to experience that. And you all get rewarded. You're all happy and you're all blessed. And you all have help and rest. But a lot of y'all have been drinking the brainwashing of this fucking country. And you're all stressed the hell out for no motherfucking reason, man. You should have been had help. Your man's already been trying to get, he's going to do what nature calls him to do. He's going to try to get other women. He's never meant to just be down with you, man. His sex drive's too fucking high. You can only carry a baby life for 9 months. A man carries life every single day, via his sperm, seed. And he can release it. In a couple hours, it'll be recharged again. Okay? That's to be fruitful and multiply on the earth. It's the purpose. And you hear about the forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and everybody you just seen in quick video clip. It was all practiced by them, and it was not sin. And it's going to return like this according to this prophecy. So get over the whole he cheated shit. You know, he never cheated. He did what nature called him to do that he can't help. So go get you some help and get him a second wife so he can let that energy off, man. And you could get a break. Another excellent book to read on different things and behavior and mindset you can be to get a husband and keep a husband, a man of the Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Read the book of Ruth. Okay? This is Ruth chapter 2, verse 1. It says, Naomi had a kinsman of her husbands. So Naomi's husbands passed. Okay? It says a mighty man, not Salakia, not Naomi, but Ruth's husbands had passed. Okay? It says a mighty man of wealth, of family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. So he was a relative, more likely a cousin of Ruth's husband. Ruth's husband passed away. She became a widow. So they traveled a great distance. They got in their vehicles back in the ancient world. They had carriages and chariots by horse. And they traveled or on foot, and they went miles to come and see him. Okay? There's some women putting in the work to go after a man. In America, this is unheard of. You know? It says, and Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. And she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers, and her hap was too light on part of the field belonging to Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, Yahweh be with you. And they answered him, and Yahweh blessed thee. Then said Boaz unto his servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel is this? And the servant that was set over the reapers answered, said, it is the Moabitish damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather the reapers among the sheaves. So she came and hath continued even from the morning unto now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maidens. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. I have not charged the young men that they should not touch thee. And when thou art at thirst, go to the vessels and drink of that which the young men have drawn. Okay, so first part of this is showing her act of servitude. This is not even her husband yet. And you see how much work she's putting in? She went to him and she's already starting to serve him and what he had going on, his future, his business, his job. Not for what we can do to pay for you, enhance you, and help you out with. What can you do to add to us? Okay? That's the mentality you need to change to come into. You are the weaker vessel. You have to have a head over you, and you have to trust in that head, and he'll take care of you. And everything will fall in place. Well, what if he passes away? Well, okay, you did a good job. You think his family didn't notice that? You know? And this is a perfect example. Ruth's husband died, a righteous one. They saw on how good of a wife she was to him. So you think they didn't notice that? So she was set up with another husband, a kinfolk to her husband that passed. You see? Trust in the Lord, man. Just stick to the scriptures on how you should behave, and you'll never fail. You know? It says, verse 10, then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger? So she wasn't even an Israelite. She was a heathen woman, but she was catching his attention. And take notes, women, Israelite women. I hope you're taking notes, man. It says, and Boaz answered and said unto her, it hath fully been showed me all that thou hast done unto my mother-in-law since the death of thine husband, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother and the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people which thou knewest not heretofore. Yahweh recompense thy work, and full reward be given thee of Yahweh God of Israel, under whose wings thou art come to trust. Okay? It says, then she said, let me find favor in thy sight, O my Lord, for that thou hast comforted me, and thou hast spoken friendly unto thy handmaid, though I be not like unto one of thine handmaidens. So the rest of them were Israelite women, so-called black, Latino, and Native American women. You know, she was the Asian woman. This would be a modern day we call Chinese. Moabites goes from Chinese people. And that's what a lot of so-called black women be hating on when they see a black man go to Thailand and go get him one. Or the Philippines and go get him one. And they see him being treated so good. Or they got this one Jake who making videos of this Cambodian woman he went and picked up. And showing how much she's good to him and serving him. You got all these black women just furious. You know? So take notes, man. You could get a husband the same way. You just got to do what she did. And in Isaiah 4:1, this is the mentality that's going to get you a husband, man. You know? It's the book of Ruth, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, my daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whom madest thou wast? Behold, he winneth barley tonight on the threshing floor. Wash thyself before, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man until he have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and shall go in, and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, all that thou sayest unto me I will do. You see, so this is her mother-in-law, you know, coaching her on how to take her shot, in which you women need to learn how to do. Come to the man. Come to the man. This culture is backwards for us begging for your hand. The ancient world, we didn't always even come to you. Like, we dealt with your father or the next man that was a family member that was above you in line, like maybe your uncle, okay, or even to your brother, or maybe your cousin, whichever man was connected to you, that was related to you. We asked for their hand, you know, we asked them for your hand in marriage. And it was arranged marriage, and they got a dowry, and we took you into our tent, laid down with you, and you became our wife. That's the way it was done. And if you were a virgin, that was counted as such. That whole ceremony process didn't happen if you were not a virgin, because that was considered adultery unless you were widowed. Okay? So your initial virginity being taken by a man, it was ordained. You know, not ordained, but arranged, Salakia. Okay? And ordained by your father. You didn't just have the authority to go around, you know, and saying, men, chase me, chase me, chase me, get, you know, beg for my number. You wear a skimpy outfit and you get all this attention and get catcalled. No, that's off. That's off. So you got to switch it up, man. You got to do better. Okay? And it says, and she went down unto the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly, and uncovered his feet, and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid, turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, that thou art a near kinsman. So she was ready to take it. Hey, it's getting intimate right now. You see? You know, did he have to go and take her to a 5-star restaurant and buy a Wagyu steak and then go buy her a dress to go to the restaurant in it and have the music playing to get? No, man. No. Y'all been going at it the wrong way. All that's going to come to you naturally once you ours. We're going to be wanting and planning on how to do it. Trust me. We're going to plan how to do nice stuff like that for y'all. And more. But you got to earn that spot. You can't be used goods out here expecting to be chased. No. Nah, we don't know you. It wasn't arranged. A lot of y'all you don't know. We don't know your kinfolk. You don't know ours. It's not set up. We meet you somewhere in public or somewhere online. Okay? And most of the time you just got through a week ago being with some other man. That's just facts, man. So you got to change your mindset. Okay? Now, this is the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 9. It says, And Boaz said unto the elders and to all the people, Ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's in the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth, the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day, and all the people that were in the gate and the elders, we are witnesses. Yahweh make the woman that is come unto thine house like Rachel, like Leah, which did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephratah and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah of the seed which Yahweh shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And he went in unto her, and Yahweh gave her conception, and she bare a son. So he took her. He lay down with her. The act of sex equals marriage. You can find that in the book of Genesis as well. Sex is marriage. So stop. Keep getting divorced and married, man. It says, and when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception. She bare a son, right? She got pregnant. So this proves that this whole act, that is what seals a marriage. That's what constitutes marriage, is sex. Especially, you having kids together afterwards. Like, it's even more sealed. So a lot of y'all women have been thinking that you could just continue to redo this over and over with somebody else. How many times are you going to go through this and we have to restart making memories of somebody? And starting over. After so many years has passed. And the older you get, the less desirable you are. Unless you've already been locked into that one man for years. He still just can desire you from the time he met you. But y'all women don't get that. So then you start coming to trying to get men when you're already up in age. And you don't even realize it on how you look. You don't look that great anymore. You don't have it like that. You got catcalled a lot when you're younger. But age will hit you and you don't even realize it on how old you start looking. A lot of y'all women, you start getting into your late 30s, 40s, you're already getting gray hairs and stuff showing, man. You don't even realize that your chest is sagging a lot more from gravity taking toll on you. You don't got it like that. And mentally, you can't pair bond with nobody. So it just becomes more repetitive and like a annoying on repeat. Something that kept happening over again at each man you meet. It's not good, man. Not a good look. So you don't want to be in that position. So take advantage of the youth now. If you're a woman of marital age, get you a man of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. The scriptures talk about how she shall be saved in childbearing. So these things are important. Isaiah 4:1 will come to pass, and lessons like this and information like this should help you prepare yourselves mentally for that man. Okay, so Lord's will, let's edify him and close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kakadash, double honor to our apostles, elders, great millstone, touch the truth and will well, and say this your hope, push his truth and our sincerity. Shalom.